Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will be discussing about ELP, English Language Proficiency. Why do we need ELP? What are the different requirements of ELP, training, testing, the validity of ELP, my personal experience of how ELP happened for me, and last guidance for you that when should you opt to do your ELP. So as you guys know that as per the schedule 2 of the aircraft rules, there are certain requirements that have been published to get your commercial pilot's license issued by the DGCA. Once you fulfill all the requirements, you are entitled to get your CPL from the DGCA. But under the section J or section L of schedule 2 of the aircraft rules, we see that there is not anything which is written that we need an ELP certificate to get our license issued. So this requirement is specifically mentioned in section 6A under schedule 2 of the aircraft rules. You can see that the section 6A specifically states that an applicant for the following licenses shall have the ability to speak and understand the English language used for radio telephony communications to the level of proficiency specified by the Directorate General. You can see PPL, CPL, ATPL, every license including your flight engineers and navigators license, everything is written there. So how does a person actually makes DGCA believe that their English language proficiency is good enough that they are entitled to do operations? For this, the DGCA issues an English language proficiency certificate for which the DGCA has given powers to certain organizations which are entitled to take the training and testing of English language proficiency and then provide you a certificate based on the test that you have given. This certificate and the different level that are specified on this certificate will define that you are competent enough, and this rating will be endorsed on your license as well. The level that you will be getting in your ELP, this will be endorsed on your license. So the different organizations which are actually authorized by DGCA to conduct testing and training for English language proficiency, you can see on your screens right now. You can refer to the DGCA website, and this is how you can see all the list of organizations who are entitled to take your English language proficiency training and testing. So moving towards the next part of the video, the training, the validity, the different specifics about the English language proficiency. For this, we'll be referring to this card that you can see on your screens right now. This is section 7 series G part 3, which defines the training, testing and certification details for English language proficiency. This card you can refer for all every minute details, although I'll be covering all the important details in the video, but this card you should definitely read as well. So once you go through this card, you will see that to apply for the test of ELP, which is basically an interview, we'll be discussing that how it happens. You will see that a mandatory training period is required. There are 6 levels of ELP, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to get your license issued, you are required that you must score before 4. The level 4, 5, 6, every level has different validity. For the level, if you are getting a level 4 in your ELP, then your ELP will be valid for next 3 years. If you get level 5, your ELP will be valid for 6 years. And if you get a level 6, then your ELP will be valid for a lifetime. So now as you go through this card, you will see that once you know the different levels of ELP, the next thing that you will be seeing is that there is a mandatory training that you must go through before giving the test. This mandatory training period is generally of 200 to 400 hours to get a minimum level 4. But if you have had English language in your 10th or your 12th class, then this training period reduces to just 30 hours of English language proficiency training from the approved organization, after which you can appear for the testing of your ELP, which is an interview. Now, the ICAO specified language proficiency requirements only requires you to know that how well can you comprehend, listen, speak, and read English language. Writing English is not part of your ELP training. So what you are required to do is just able to speak English, able to understand English, and able to read English. So this 30 hours of classes is unlike any other class. In this 30 hours of class, the person who will be teaching you will be making sure that you are working and going and you are able to reach to a level 4 of ICAO language proficiency. Now, once you are done with 30 hours of classes, then you become eligible for giving the English language proficiency. proficiency test. Now, this ELP testing is basically conducted in form of an interview. On the panel of the interviewers, there is one interlocutor, which is generally a CFI of a flying training organization or a person who is well versed with the aviation and the pilot training. The other two people are the experts in English language, which are there to comprehend that how well are you able to perform as per the ICAO English language proficiency requirements. So when you sit in an interview, you are supposed to interact only with the interlocutor, and the other two people in the panel will be just there monitoring your conversations with the interlocutor. This interview will be conducted in such a way that this will require you to speak in an interview about your introduction. They might give you a passage to read. They might give you a ATC and aircraft conversation, which you need to understand and explain to the interlocutor. They might give you a picture perception. They might show you a picture, and spontaneously you are supposed to speak for another 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes on that picture. And in this way, they will be testing you that how well can you speak English, how well can you read it, and how well can you understand it through that conversation in the interview. And based on your performance, you will be allotted level 4, 5, or 6. So English language proficiency test as such is not something which you should prepare for, which you should put your efforts to, like you prepare for an exam. Unlike other exams, this is something which will be testing you on something which is very long term, that how well versed you are with the English language, and how well can you speak it, how well can you read it. So this is not something that which you can prepare in 10 days. This is something which you have developed over a long period of time. So if you are just at the initial stages of starting your flying training, or your basically your ground classes, or any stage that you are, I would really recommend that you start reading, writing, and speaking English, so that this is not something which you could prepare for in just 5, 10, 15, 20 days. This is a long process that you need to follow, and you need to work on your language. Now, there is a very misunderstood concept about the validity of an ELP. Some people say that once you take your classes, then within 6 months you must appear for the test. Some people say that once you have given your ELP testing and you have got your ELP certificate, then within 6 months you must apply for your CPL. All this is rubbish. So because as you refer to the car, you will see that I will be highlighting this. So as you can see on your screens right now, the 6-month requirement is just for the renewal of AELP, right? For the As you can see, applications for the issue of license may be submitted with valid ELP irrespective of the date of ELP assessment. Till the date for the 3 years or 6 years your ELP is valid, you can apply for your license, right? So this would be the myth buster for the ELP requirements, the validity of ELP. I would highly recommend that to know the very specific. I will try to make this video short and crisp. But if you want to go to the intricacies and details, you must refer and go through the car. If you have any doubt after reading the car, you can post it in the comments and we'll try to solve it for you guys. Now, the classes for ELP, after the COVID times, the DGCA has approved that the classes of ELP can be conducted online, but the testing will be done offline. So the testing must be done offline. Earlier, it used to be like that. The training was also done offline and the testing was done offline, but now the training has been allowed to be done online, but that is also very strict. You need to keep your cameras on. The time logging should be straight. You cannot even miss one class, because if you even miss one class of ELP, there is no coming back. Then you're supposed to pay again for the whole of the classes, and then again start from day one. So the classes must be continued. So in my experience of ELP, how my classes happened was that for 10 days straight, a 3 hours class was there for English language proficiency. A 3-hour class was there. In the class, we did many activities. The activities included the basically interaction between the students. There was a slight revision about the grammar, how you speak. The teacher used to focus on each and every student and try to motivate them to work upon the specific difficulties with the parts that they are having in speaking English or reading or comprehension, anything they are having difficulty. And in those 10 days, I was prepared thoroughly for the interview. Then I went for the interview. The interview happened great, and I was issued my ELP certificate. ELP is not, in my experience, ELP is something which you will have fun. It is a 3 hour fun class. Once you complete the requirement of 30 hours, then you are supposed to go for the test. This test is fun. You meet different people. You go to the center. You get to see a new different operational base. If you are not giving the exam on your own flying school, you get to see a different place. You get to meet different people, get a new perspective of about the different things, how the flying is happening there. When should one plan to do their ELP? So in the industry, mostly people are doing their ELP training and testing once they are either done with your single engine requirements, about 160 to 165 hours, or they are about to complete their CPL, or they have completed their CPL requirements and then they go through the training, because it takes about 15 days to be done with everything. So as you guys know that the classes are as such that if you commit for this for 10 days straight, you cannot take a leave. If you make, because if you even miss one class, then you are bound to go again and repeat the whole course. So during your flying training, find such a time. Don't do ELP before your flying training. Once you have commenced your flying training, only after, once you reach a stage where you can see that okay, for the next 10 to 15 days I won't be flying. This stage generally comes when someone is waiting for their checks. This stage generally comes when someone is waiting for their multi-engine. Because as delayed, as much as delay you can do in your ELP training, the more validity will be there for your ELP certificates. What makes sense is that at the end of your flying training, you go for your ELP training and testing, you get your ELP certificate, and then finish your training in a while and then apply for your CPL. If you have any further doubts regarding ELP, do post them in the comment section. I'll try to solve them as much as I can. You guys, please connect with us on WhatsApp and Telegram. We are trying to share content that will help you guys. This would be all from my side for today. This is Animesh Sanyal signing off. Bye bye.